Heyo, Cloud Runner here, and I have put together this video to help my fellow Tenno in need. This is mainly going to be a video for brand new Warframe players who have interest in the game but feel overwhelmed or even confused with the depth that this game has straight out of the gate. When I first started playing this game years ago, I was kind of turned off with, all the things that you can do. It seems like a funny excuse to not play a game, but it's definitely overwhelming for certain players. It was for me, and I get asked all the time, how do you play Warframe? People just don't get how to progress, unlock new Warframes and weapons. They see microtransactions, and that kind of scares them away as well. Just know that everything in the game you can get for free. You do not have to pay microtransactions for weapons. If you would like to do that, throw the developers some money, that's your choice. But you do not need to pay to unlock inventory slots, weapons, warframes, any of that stuff. And I'm going to tell you, as a beginning player, where you should start and what you should be looking forward to. Now, at the start of Warframe, you get the choice of picking between 3 different Warframes to start with. You choose either the Excalibur, the Mag, or the Volt. Now, a lot of videos will tell you to take the Excalibur right off the bat because it's the easiest one to learn with. I don't like to tell people what to do. I mean, if you feel like you want to play as the Mag, if you read the description and that sounds like something you want to dive into straight off the bat, go ahead and do it. I mean, best way to learn is get your hands dirty. If you want to be the Volt, go ahead and be the Volt. I ended up choosing Excalibur because I just thought he sounded cool. The name was awesome. He uses a sword. It just kind of fit my playstyle. I still use the Excalibur the most out of all my Warframes that I have. So in Warframe, your own personal hub is your orbiter. It's the spaceship that you fly around in. You'll see it in load screens when you select a mission and you fly to that planet. It's where you're going to do everything. You will craft your Warframes here. You will select your loadouts here. A whole bunch of stuff that you can do here that I don't even want to throw at you because this whole video, its purpose is to not overwhelm you with the overwhelming things that you can do in this game. So let's just start with something that people overlook, and that would be the Codex. So people look at the map right away, and I mean, it's pretty straightforward in the beginning. You kind of just follow the nodes that you don't have unlocked. But there are certain missions that are story missions, and if you want to progress through the story, you can play every node on this. You can unlock everything if you want, but if you want to follow the story and get a rhythm for what's going on in Warframe, because there is a very deep story, a very well written story that you will want to dive into. If you get lost and you don't know where to go for the story, up here, these little icons, you won't have to worry about most of these right now. Again, this isn't to overwhelm you, so I'm not going to explain what these icons are. I'm just going to go with this one right here. That little symbol is for story missions. So if you ever get stuck, you can click on that and it'll show you what active stories you have at the moment. It'll also show you any pending stories that you have at the moment. If you don't have any, or you kind of get stuck, you're not too sure how to progress through those missions, this thing is going to be your lifesaver, your Codex. You can walk over to your Codex, select this. It's going to show you a list of quests that, right now I've completed all these, but it's going to show you a list of quests that you haven't completed, and it'll tell you what you need to do in order to unlock that quest to start playing it. So for example, you start with Vor's Prize. You get that one done and out of the way, you move on. If you want to play something, well, like the Archwing, it will tell you what you need to do. It'll say you have to complete Vor's Prize quest. It'll say you have to construct an Archwing launcher. It'll tell you whatever it is that you need to do in order to play that quest. So you shouldn't get stuck as long as you go back to your Codex and see what you need to do to progress in each of these missions. And just start knocking them off all in a row. And it may get to a point where a mission, doesn't have that story symbol on it. and that can just be a side quest, do those, because sometimes you can get Warframes from those quests. You'll see here that I don't have this one unlocked yet. I still haven't completed this or this one. These ones are side quests. They don't have the little story symbol that I showed you beside it. But all the story missions here are gone. I'm a liar. There's one right here. So again, this symbol here symbolizes part of the main story. So in order for me to activate this, I can't activate it right now because I don't have the Eris Junction open on planet Pluto. Let me show you what that is. So planet Pluto, it wants me to be able to activate the Eris Junction in order to continue with that quest. So I don't have that unlocked here. The Eris Junction is up here, and this mission is locked. So in order for me to continue, I would have to complete what's on this list. I would have to find and defeat Lephantis and Derelict. I have to open 3 Neo Void relics, which I've already done, and then I'd have to complete 15 waves of defense at Stoffler on Lua in a single mission. And Lua is again a different planet. It's a moon. So I'd have to do that over here, a defense mission. So just go with what it tells you to do. And again, when you're on Earth, if you know you have to get to Mars for whatever mission comes after that, you'd look up here. Here's the Mars Junction. The junctions are what connect you to other planets. So if you're playing all your missions on Earth where you start, and you want to get to Venus down here, you want to get to Mars up here, go to where the junction is. The junction is what connects you to that planet. And it'll tell you what you have to do to open that junction in order to get to Venus. So if I hover over Venus Junction, again, on the left, it gives me a list. Complete quest, forest prize, collect 20 mods, apply 4 mods to a single Warframe or weapon, and then upgrade any mod to rank 2 or higher through the fusion process. So these are all things that you'd have to do. Up here at the Mars Junction, same thing. Tells you what you'd have to do to unlock that. Once you do unlock that, boom, you can go to Mars and start your missions there. And again, always go back to your Codex just to make sure you're on the right track. If you start to feel a little underpowered, if you're playing missions that are too high level for you at the moment, check your Codex and make sure that, you know, maybe you're too far ahead. Maybe there's a quest that you can do before that, or some side quests. Also, Warframe is very grindy. Don't be afraid just to grind the shit out of like the same level over and over again. A lot of the times when I get a new Warframe, I'll just dive into a very low level defense mission and just do it over and over and over again until I level that Warframe up. Now, another question that I get in Warframe is how do I unlock things? How do I unlock weapons? How do I unlock Warframes and slots for Warframes? I don't even have weapon slots. I want to buy a weapon and I don't even have anywhere to put it because it's saying I need to spend platinum to open up a slot. Don't worry about that in the beginning. Just take what you have, what the game has given you, and the further you progress and the more you master, your master rank rises, you'll unlock inventory slots. So when your master rank goes up, you may unlock 2 weapon slots. You might unlock 2 Warframe slots. That's what you'll want to do to get more inventory. If you do start the game with a little bit of platinum, which is the in-game real money currency, if you do have some of that to start, because the developers are nice, they give you a little taste. They give you a little taste in the beginning. You know, don't buy a weapon. You do what you want, but I mean, I would not buy a weapon. I would buy an inventory slot for weapons. Not even a Warframe at this point, but just for weapons. Because a good way of leveling up is just by choosing new weapons and leveling those weapons up to 30. Stick with one Warframe, the one that you start with, and get used to playing that. Get used to the 4 abilities that they come with. Get used to the weapons that you like to play with. Stick with one Warframe in the beginning. I would say until you get to unlock the Rhino. The Rhino will be the first Warframe that you'll probably farm by killing the Jackal boss. So every time you do the mission where you fight the Jackal, you'll have a chance at getting a piece of the Rhino's neuroptics or chassis or systems. And with those 3 pieces and the blueprint, you can build your second Warframe, which would be the Rhino. And each planet has, you know, a boss that you can fight. They'll drop certain Warframes. I'm going to stop right there because I don't want to get too overwhelming again with other ways of getting Warframes. So let's just keep it simple. Now the next thing that's very intimidating and confusing is this. The market. The market. Right away, just the sound of that sounds like microtransactions. When you click on it, holy shit, what is this? Microtransactions? What? Like you look at it, you see all these Prime packages and you know, bundles and things like that, and it just sounds like, oh my god, this is where the pay to win or the pay to play comes in. Again, you do not have to go in here and spend 80 bucks on a Prime bundle or anything like that. But what you can do is you can search for weapons. You can search for Warframes. You can find blueprints, which you will need in order to craft whatever it is you want to craft. So let's just say I want a new weapon. I don't know, something like the Boltor. The Boltor is actually a very good starting weapon. I would suggest you buy the Boltor blueprint. Now, you can purchase it with in-game currency. This is not real money. The credits here that you see, 15,000, that's in-game currency. That doesn't come out of your wallet. It's not platinum. It's the in-game currency that you find from playing missions, completing missions, and all that stuff, getting rewards. You buy the blueprint, and then it tells you what it is that you need in order to build this weapon. So you'll need, on top of the initial 15 grand of buying the blueprint, just to make the blueprint, you're also going to need another 25 grand. You need 2 neurodes, 100 alloy plate, 900 salvage, and 600 polymer bundle. These are all things that you'll find doing your missions, running around. If you come across an item that you can't find, don't be afraid to Google it. Google is your friend, okay? If you're playing missions and you're getting all this stuff here and you can't for the life of you find polymer bundles and you need 600 of them, you don't know where the hell they are, just Google it. Just say, you know, Warframe polymer bundle. Check out the wiki. It'll tell you exactly where to find it. If you can't find it right away, if it's a planet that's locked and you don't have that node, that's fine. Just continue to play the game, unlock nodes, unlock other planets, and eventually you'll get to that, and then you can build this pretty kick-ass weapon. It's a great weapon to start with. Now, you can do that with Warframes. You can do that with companions. There's a whole bunch of things that you can get in here that you don't have to spend real money on. The only thing I think that you would spend real money on is stuff like skins, animation sets, things like that. You can unlock helmets and different things like that later on in the game with alerts. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself and I don't want to throw too much at you. But the market, just like the Codex, is your friend. Don't be afraid of it. Use it. Buy blueprints with in-game currency, not with your hard-earned cash. Again, unless you want to throw some money at the developers. There's nothing wrong with that. Every once in a while, they do have like some giveaways. They'll say 50% off platinum or whatnot. But honestly, I don't spend any money on this game. I do everything through the game. I farm the crap out of the game because that is what this game is. Warframe is all about the grind. And if you just pay to buy a Mesa Prime, if you just pay to buy a Warframe, you're essentially paying to not play the game. You're paying to unlock it without having to do that grind. So when you start playing the game and you're grinding through levels and you start getting a piece of that Warframe that you bought a month ago, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I spent money on this, and I'm farming it right now." So just don't do it. Just wait. Just hold on to your money and play the game and have fun. Now let's take you over to the Foundry. Now the Foundry is going to be where you create everything. I've got a lot going on here. Again, I don't want to overwhelm anybody, but let's just look at Warframes, for example. Every time you get a blueprint, so I have the Chroma blueprint, it's going to show me what I need in order to make this Warframe. I need the neuroptics, the chassis, the system. It's always like that with Warframes. You need neuroptics, chassis, and systems. This one's a little weird because the Chroma also needs the Volt neuroptics. So that's not the greatest example, but here you go. Gar, for example, neuroptic systems, chassis, and auric and cell. Sometimes, you know, most of the times this will change. Some of them need Nitan extract. Depends on how rare the Warframe is that you're trying to create. As you can see down here, we have Kuva, but again, neuroptic systems, chassis, Kuva. Your primary weapons you'll build here as well. Secondary weapons, and your melee weapons. Now, when you buy a blueprint off the market, you look at a weapon, you see a melee weapon, and you're like, oh my god, that thing looks amazing, and I want it. I want to build it. It sounds kick-ass. Let's go for it. Well, be careful. Always check what the mastery rank is, because if you're at mastery rank, I don't know, 3 or 4, and you have to wait for something that's a mastery rank 12, you're going to be waiting a long time to get to that mastery rank. Mastery rank doesn't come easy. You really have to grind. And the only way you raise your mastery rank is by using items in Warframes that aren't at max level. The arsenal. As you can see, everything I have here is at max level. So I am not going to get my mastery rank up very high. You still get XP. They call it affinity. So when you collect affinity, keep your eye on that. Every time you start a mission, it'll show you at the bottom of the screen a way of getting affinity bonus. And it's either something like, you know, kill 30 enemies or maybe get 10 headshots. Always check that. If you miss what it says, you can always hit P on your keyboard, and I apologize to anyone playing on console. I'm not sure what the control would be to open up that menu. Maybe start or select or something like that, or the touchpad. You can open up a menu and it'll show you what the bonus requirements are. And just, you know, always try and do that. If it's use your first ability 5 times, make sure you do it. Even if you just spam it 5 times in the beginning, you'll get that affinity bonus, and it's very important to help raise your mastery rank and your experience. So once you have a few blueprints, you've got some weapons that you want to create, go ahead, go over to your Foundry. Again, look at what you need. Sometimes games like this require pen and paper. Don't be afraid to write down what you need. I need 5 Morphics, I need 6,000 salvage, I need 5,000 ferrite, and I need 1,000 circuits. Go ahead and write that down so you don't have to look at your Foundry all the time. And then when you go to your planets, you can check down here, and right there it's going to tell me what this planet offers in regards to resources. So as you can see here, this list comes up. We've got ferrite, rubido, neurodes, and that detonite ampule. That's on Earth. Now if I go to Mars and I hover over that same button, they have morphics, salvage, gallium, and whatever the hell that stuff is. So I mean, you just always look at this little part here. It'll tell you what the resources are that you can collect. And again, if it's a planet that you can't get to, if it's like say Sedna, you're not gonna jump into there anytime soon when you start playing. So if you're looking for something like detonite ampule, you know, and you can only get it on these harder planets, don't worry about it for now. Just keep playing the game. You'll eventually get there. Learn the mechanics and all that jazz. Now, the only other thing that I want to throw at you is the movement in Warframe. We'll take you through that really quickly. Now, when I first started playing Warframe, I ran everywhere, I walked everywhere. I thought it was just like, you know, a space shooter, kind of like the Division, but in space. But I'm a ninja because I have a sword and I look cool. But the movement in Warframe is really what makes this game unique. I mean, other than the billions of things that you can do in this game, but the movement is really second to none in a game like this, in a loot shooter. So you run forward. I don't have to hold shift. I have it so that when I just hit shift once, I continue to run like this, and I am pressing forward with W. You want to hit control to slide, and then you're gonna jump. So you're gonna slide and jump, and that's called bullet jumping. Slide and jump, slide and jump. And if you really want to move quickly through levels, you do slide and a double jump. and then a slide again. And you keep doing that. That's going to make you move a lot quicker than just running. So slide, double jump. Slide, double jump. When you want to get real crazy after you get the hang of that, you can slide, double jump, then shift for a little somersault. And that's going to make you move even faster through levels. Slide, double jump, somersault. Slide, double jump, somersault. And you just keep doing that through levels. I mean, you're probably going to hit some walls. You're going to get stuck. You'll know when just to slide and when just to do one single jump or when to do a double jump. You'll get the hang of all that as you become a ninja. I strongly suggest you go to a video on YouTube by a guy called Smashed, who has created an animated cartoon called 100 Days of Warframe. It's a funny cartoon, but it's actually very inspirational because it takes time to learn how to play this game. But if you put in the time, if you put in, I would say, just like the video says, 100 Days of Warframe, I guarantee you, you're going to love it. Once you get the hang of it, once it finally clicks with you, this game has a lot of depth to offer, and it can be a lot of fun. Very addicting. That guy's really angry. And I think that's basically it. That's all I want to show you guys for now. Again, this is just like a real basic what to do in the beginning of Warframe type of video. If you have any more questions, don't be afraid to sound off in the comments below on YouTube. Please let me know if there's anything that you would like to know, if there's anything that I haven't covered that's still at beginner level. You know, let's have some fun with this game. If you'd like to watch me stream, I stream the game Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on twitch.tv/cloudrunner_TV. And yeah, we have a lot of fun. The only other advice I could throw at you is if you're lucky enough, if you can join a clan, if you can join someone's dojo, meet some friends, have them walk you through it, you know, the more people helping you, the better this game will be for you. And the game has a great community. I have yet to run into any hostile gamers, you know, and I've been playing this game for a long time now. And it's just one of the greatest communities to be involved with. And again, the game itself is just super fun. So I hope you have fun with it. I hope you don't get turned off by the overwhelming, amazing and incredible things that you can do in this game. And this is just, again, a real basic video on how to start playing the game. There will be more videos in the future, but I hope this helps. Again, feel free to pop in on Twitch when I'm streaming live and ask me questions live while I'm playing. I also have a very strong community of veteran Warframe players that know a heck of a lot more than I do and would be super happy to help you out. So until then, my friends. Intel